fool who's so cool. Taking it back to the old school, cause I'm an old fool who's so cool. Y'all ready for this?
I'm not too systematic, it's just that I'm an addict for love.
Old fool who's so cool.
I'm not too systematic, it's just that I'm an addict for love.
Taking it back to
nothing I wanna hold you. I never ever should have told you you're my own girl.
old fool who's so cool.
I'm not the only one that holds you. I never ever should have told you you're my own girl.
Taking it back. Old fool who's so cool. Taking it back. Old fool who's so cool. Taking it back. Taking it back. Old fool who's so cool. Taking it back. Taking it back. Old fool who's so cool. Taking it back. Old fool who's so cool. Old fool who's so cool.
Tak. Mělo by všechno jít v pohodě snad. Já to radši vždycky kontroluju. Zapnem hru. Undisputed. Tak, a jdem na to. Tak, šup. Už. Steel City Interactive. Padesát 29, jenom to přepíšu zas. (29) Tak. Tatarečko, jak se máme? Jo, dobrý. Nevím, kdo to řekl přesně, ale vím jako no, že to někdo řekl. Počká, se chci podívat, kdy bude ta kariéra. Někde to bylo psaný. Undisputed. Career mode. Mohamed Ali. Šmara, to svítí do ksichtu zas. Plocha. Roadmap 2023. To je dobrý, ale... Jo, tak. New Fighters. 50 nových fighterů. Additional punch moveset. Custom towns. Before you fight, a jo, to si bude moc nastavit pak v tomto, jo. Různý kombinace. Character creator sharing. Create your boxer complete with stats and share your creations with the community. Kariérní mod, climb the ranks. Jo, to bude v singlu, to je jasný. Dobré, no. Jsem to chtěl. To měl hodně dobrý hlášky teda, no. Já bych ho mohl vlastně zkusit dát, zahrát, ale... A jo, to nebudeme rád. Tohle sice XP level, ale toho Rusa jako... Jsem nechtěl. Sure. Dobrý, no. Gol 4. Dneska ty 3 zápasy mě ublížily, no. Jinak bychom už byli gol 3 asi. Co ty, Tatarko, jinak, jak ti je vůbec? Je to teda už lepší? Linares. Dum, dum, dum. Tam normálně Robin zná. Chcete tam hodit to? No, hodíme to, to je jedno. Zahájit předpověď. Cože on už to pustilo, jo. Snad neukončil. Aha. Nějaký moc rychlý, sakra. Jak nic, tak pak, no. Bam, bam, bam.
I'm Todd Grisham, and how about this venue, ladies and gentlemen? Brooklyn Hall. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
Looking forward to this one, Todd.
It's time for our tale of the tape. Sugar Ray Robinson weighed in at an even 147 pounds. He's 5'11" tall. And standing across the ring from him in the flesh, Terrence Bud Crawford, perhaps the pound-for-pound king. 5'8" tall. Sugar Ray Robinson. Many consider him to be the greatest fighter in the history of this sport. Inducted into the International Hall of Fame in 1990, he fights Terrence Bud Crawford, one of the pound-for-pound
Máme proti sobě Terence Crawforda,
fighting out of Nebraska, USA.
ale má špatnou odezvu, to je dobře.
These two have been going at it and now fight. Great to have you with us for this all-action affair.
Butters Chaos Touch.
And I don't think we're going to be
Zajímavý nickname.
And he caught him with a left hook.
Pane bože, ten Crawford je akční jak moje babčula.
Nice exchange here from both men. A lot of pre-match drama. Who could forget what we saw yesterday at the weigh-in? Fighting at the bit to get it on.
Jsem si ani nevšiml, jestli to byl gold, nebo co to je za rank.
For all these reasons, you can hear everybody in the crowd. You can hear the punches. The punches actually echo. If you're that fighter coming in and you
Tož,
know
tak jsem došel. Nazdar Tomíku. No, zrovna teďka jsme odstartovali meč, no. Tak pak další hru. Dneska tady borci odpoledne vsázeli jako hodně věrnostních bodů. Byla prdel.
And he fails to score with that left hook.
Cena, jak se máme, Bejku?
But he's not faster.
Bastard. Tak tohle jsme si dobře vypočítali, chat. Pohodka, lahodka říkáš?
To beat a counterpuncher, you've got to take them out of their pace.
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go.
Šmara, on vůbec není akční tady ten borec. Co to je za mentála zas? Je to tam, no. Bylo hodně postiženec. To nechápu teda. On to chtěl ukončit, ale nakonec to neukončil. Jo, ukončil, to dobrý dík. Se vzdál, no. Dobré, tím lépe. On se mi zdál prostě postižený. Tak nic, takže jdeme na to. Nevím tam Jakube, čím to je, prostě to nejde. Takže dáme hlasování. Zahájit předpověď. Dáme na to 5 minutek. Foxy, proč nemám VIP? A ty jsi tady měl VIP, Tomíku, někdy? Čeká, já to vypnu, znovu zapnu. A mohl bych ti dát zase móda, že? Odpoledne semka chodí docela dost už lidí na ten boxík. Tak počkat, takže výhra, prohra, remíza, 5 minut na to máte chat, jo? Takže už to valí jako, že jako bacha na to, jako rozumíte. Já nevím, ale proč nejdou ty příkazy, jako. Jsem se na to díval a normálně to za mě funguje a vám to nejde. jsem si přepl účet a mám tu 23 000 bodů. Takže můžete hlasovat, četičku. Tomíkos. A ty jsi byl ale nějak tenkrát Tomík, že? Mám pocit. Na nějakým tomu účtu mám pocit. No, Tomíku, já tady mám pak v plánu. Třeba kdybys koupil box nebo něco potom. Teď je teda v akci, jako jo, ale... Až bude víc lidí, protože ono to vyjde i na konzole. A kluci mě psali ještě různí, jako... To chcou taky koupit, ale oni mají jenom konzole. Tak tady chci pak dělat turnaje různě třeba o klávesnice, o myš a tak dále, jako jo. Všechno je teda v přípravách, jo. Všechno chce svůj čas, ale... Tak, ukaž, jak hlasujete. To si dělal i s cotkama. Tam jsem chtěl dělat nějaký turnaj v cotkách. Vůbec nevím. Tam tím, že nejsou žádný nějaký jako moc to. Jedině v gunfightech jedině. Jenomže tenkrát o to tady nebyl vlastně zájem, už vím. To nikoho zase gunfighty vlastně nebavili jako klasicky, že jo. Byly gunfighty dobrý jak svině a pak už to nikdo zase nehrál, takže klasika. O tebe jo, vlastně, no. Ale už si musíme přepsat 52 vínů, 29 proher. Šmará, chci aspoň už tak 100 vínů. Jsem to měl koupit normálně, jak to vyšlo. Zdravím, když seš undisputed rank, tak už nemůžeš spadnout zpět? Přesně tak, Tome. Přesně tak, tady je vlastně tabulka, tam bych se rád dostal, ale tam se asi už nedostaneme. Tady máš asi nějakých 100 hráčů nejlepších, tady téhle hry. No, ten má třeba 169 vyhraných, 22 proher, 2 remízy. Počkej, tady zase jenom top 20 teda asi. No. Ne, tady. Jo, takže je to fakt top 100. Senka bych se bral dostat, jako no. Ne, tak oni to navýšili už na 200, ty vole. Jenom, že to jsou takový a teď nesmím prostě prohrávat už, no já fakt musím jenom vyhrávat, abych měl třeba 100 vyhraných a 29 proher, bych se mohl zařadit do té tabulky sem, no. Tohle je světový žebříček. Bam bam, para bam bam. Kolik stojí vůbec ten box teďka, se musím podívat. To tam někdo dával na náš Discord. Do chatu myslím Dragon nebo někdo. Jo, tady. Starborci. Jo, to jsem dával já. Ne, on. 518 korun, je to pořád v akci, minus 24%, no. Pak to bude zase 700, 800. Jdem na to. Para bam bam para bam bam. Tak, pojď Robinsone. Takže Tomík dával... Kolik sadil Tomík vůbec prašulí? Nebo jako bodů?
So much energy here in the house tonight. We're at Brooklyn Hall. My name is Todd Grisham. Alongside me, Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be unbelievable.
4110, teďka koukám, tam je na výhru 5200.
And now it's time for our tale of the tape.
A jeden dal na prohru.
Ray Robinson, 5'11" tall with a reach of 72.4 inches. His opponent
ale máme
tonight,
proti sobě Crawforda.
Sugar Ray Robinson.
A Boris má jenom 4 fighty vyhraný a 6 proher, mám pocit, nebo kolik tam bylo, jsem se ani nepodíval vůbec rychle.
One of the hottest tickets around. And there's the bell for round 1.
Uvidíme, jaký bude borec, no. I když dneska mi vypnul i borec, který hrál poprvé rankedy. Ten byl fakt dobrý. Ten asi hodně trénoval klasicky online.
Not many of the people in the division hit like them. And he misses with that jab.
Dal jsem na prohru, všichni dávali na výhru, tak ať je oč hrát, je přesně. Chceš tam Miku zahrát Cycle, jo? Já jsem normálně byl zklamaný, to ono tam bylo to, public test ke stažení. Season 3, co má být. A nic tam nového vlastně nebylo, takže nechápu, co tam jenom moc za význam. A o víkendu budeš doma, jo, Tomiku? Nebo seš u táty? A je u táty.
Nice exchange here from both men. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster.
Ty Tomíku aspoň trochu boxu rozumíš, nebo taky ne? Nebo víš zhruba, jak se to boduje? Že tu to nikdo moc nevěděl.
Which fighter is winning this battle? Which fighter's going to get clipped first?
To je zase neaktivní borec. Ne, jako ono, hlavně tady musíš kopat jako nohama, no. Přesně tak.
Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way.
Dá se mi to, nebo už krvácí ten Crawford? Ne, to se mi dá.
He threw the hook, didn't land. He misses with that jab.
On je takovej ten typek, že spíš čeká jenom na... Nevím na co.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round. A counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
Counter puncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
He blocks the hook.
Spíš vyčkává, což možná jako dělá dobře. Já už teďka s tou staminou jako trošku zbrzdím.
He missed with that jab. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one.
Čau, Gino. Jak se to rojde, můžeš sázet všechny body, co máš zas. Šmary, ale nehraj si se mnou. Jo, tohle je právě to, co on dělá dobře, protože utíká mě, já ho prostě nehituju a tím, že ho nehituju, tak rozhodčí klidně dají body zase mu, protože je to považovaný, že se brání, jak kdyby.
What a punch! Got caught clean by a left hook. Can they figure out the combination to this save? Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It could all come down to who's in better shape.
What can they change? They can change their attitude, they can change their nervous system for a certain amount of punches per round.
Jsme trošku zariskovali.
If they deviate from the game plan, they're going to be shattered once again and the fight will be over.
Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left.
Spálil domek.
This fight could not be any closer, could it, Johnny?
That was super tight. I dread being a judge.
Teď by měla být tabulka ukázaná. Jak to vypadá jako? 30-27 vedem. Ty vole. Klidek, borče. Klidek, Dory.
Misses with that jab.
Je vidět, že zabral, no.
You've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses. How do you deal with it?
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
And that left hook doesn't find its target.
Tak, teď tam to hezky vyšlo. Ten Crawford je taky hodně dobrý.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
No tak, dodělej ho, vole. Jebne. Ach jo. Já nevím, za to Robinson vždycky se blbě dodělával. No, to funguje vlastně tak, že kdyby to bylo vyrovnaný třeba 29-29 a já bych mu dal teďka jako KOčko na zem, on by teda, dejme tomu, stejně vstál, tak mě to vezme bod a on vede. Ale samozřejmě, když dostal takovou bombu, tak to vedem teďka aspoň o 4 body už. Takže Tomika si vyhraje balík. I když jako... neznamená, že posral jednu mou kombinaci, že...
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's alright to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Back and forth they go, neither fighter willing to back down. That one lands.
Už si mě víc kontroluje. No, tak nekontroluje. On ten ksicht si moc jako neschovává.
This is certainly an aggressive fighter, but that doesn't always mean success. How many times have you seen a fighter chase a superior athlete around the ring and just get picked apart even though they were the one pushing the tempo? Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one.
Nazdar Šleziku, pak si můžeš vsadit pěkně bodíky, až se dodělá tady ten fight, no. No to víš, že žije. Nebylo v práci, Šlezo, dobrý. Ještě, jo. O kolik, Tomiku, myslíš, že vedu na body? Teďka po tady tom kole bude tabulka ukázaná. Si myslím, že o 4 body minimálně. Nenechá si to dát to KOčko prostě. No, že by? Škoda.
One of these fighters is starting to run out of gas. What do you do as a fighter when you just don't have the energy?
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax.
Jsem trošku zariskoval teda.
You can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
These two are the perfect dance partners.
Se na mě plazíš.
Good defense blocking that left hook.
Se divím, že ještě nekrvácí, jako.
Wanted to land the left hook, but was not successful.
Kurník. No, typek se rozjíždí. Teprve. No, pojď. Ty vole, dělej, doražo. To je hajzl, on má tady ten štěstí, ty vole, víc než rozumu, fakt jo. Po druhé jsme mohli sundat. Chápu, Šlevo. Že se tomu vyhneš. Aspoň teď. 59-55 vedem. Tam je tam bohužel prošla teda, ale nevadí.
speak to you about a fast fighter that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed, they're confident, they know they just have to quick burst, boom. In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed, and that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
On už nemůže moc. Ale hlídá si to teďka tu hlavu, no. Bohužel.
Nice exchange here from both men. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round. When we talk about a fighter having power, don't just look at the head punches they throw. Look at the body shots. That can be the real difference.
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket him.
Oh, wow. Trošku to musíme rozdechat.
Can't find a home with that jab. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Who's winning this fight right now? I have no idea.
That was super tight. I dread being a judge.
Mix it up, body and head, feet smart, change your angle.
Which one of these athletes is going to be
Osmý kolo z 12. Jo, to jsou rankedy, no. Je to teda taky golďák, ale nemá moc odehraných zápasů. Jo, a tak teďka mě docela dal teda.
Todd, we know one of these fights can knock you out with a simple jab. They're that powerful.
Ty vole, co to je teď jako?
He blocks that jab.
Tak on ví, že mě musí jedině sejmout prostě, no. Teď už jako to přes body nenažené, i když by mohl ještě.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round. He caught him with a left hook.
Pěkný, no.
Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use
teďka začal úplně dělat krásný kombinace.
All come down to who's in better shape.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest
Ty
place in the
vogo.
world. You cheated, now we're gonna find out.
Typek se rozjel.
That left hook missed.
Hrady nic nevydrž. Začínáme krvácet, to není dobrý.
This round could go either way, 10 seconds to go. This fight could not be any closer, could it, Johnny?
So important, the referee's got to do his fight right.
No tam... Ne, nezačínáme krvácet, to se mi zdálo. 9. kolo.
Nice punch. The old adage is no matter how much speed you've got.
Šámu potřebuji dát KOčko. A trošku to, ten gol už projedem rychlejš.
They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Fantastic punch.
Ty vole.
Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way.
Tak to mě poser. Ach jo, já jsem viděl, že už nemá staminu, ale on prostě ten ksich si teďka bude krýt hodně už. Pojď.
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there, they want you to stand there toe to toe with them and have a tail. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go.
No.
This fight is closer than 2 pages in a book, Johnny.
Myslím si, že to asi dohnal. (89, 82, jo, tak to s přehledem vyhráváme. Každý kolo 10 bodů, kromě čtvrtýho. Tak to je slušný. Jo, vlastně. A to máme vyhraný, to by mě musel dát jedině 2krát sundat na zem. Že po třetí už bych nevstál. To už se blbě vstává. Nemá staminu, pojď. Ne, on si nenechá to prostě dát.
Both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you
Neznává to borec, ale.
Certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Can they figure out the
On
combination
to prostě ustane až do toho posledního kola asi. Takový bomby. Pojď. Ty velmi ještě sundá. Ty vole. Ty vole. Tak, a je to tady. A je to tady. No. Ty vole, ještě že mě nedal na zem. Úplně jsem to tušil. Jak mě došla ta stamina, nemohl jsem se stáhnout, že dostanu prostě. 128 000. Ty vole. Musíme být opatrnější, jako teď jsem docela fakt riskoval. Mě už já to mám vyhraný prostě na body, ale on musí prostě přitvrdit hodně.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
Oh, and he caught him with a stiff jab. Oh, what a punch!
Ty vole.
Can they figure out the combination to this safe? Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through will
Už to je hrozně, jak na mě tlačí. Běž pryč, běž pryč. Šmara pryč.
You make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Vole, to mělo projít.
Big swing and a miss with the hook.
Šmara, už je konec.
Oh, that punch.
A sedla.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left.
Ty vole.
I don't know which fighter is winning this bout.
That was super tight. I dread being a judge.
Jako tady ono, člověk si řekne, jo, vedem o hodně, ale prostě už malé mě teďka dvakrát sundal, jako. Ty vole.
Good looking hook, but it was blocked. There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch
kámo,
power, someone's got the speed, someone can take you out with a simple jab. It can be intimidating. It just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
Robinson hit hard and he may be ready to go.
Ty vole, tak to měl vyndej, fakt jo.
And forth they go, neither fighter willing to back down. That right hook catching air.
To si...
Got buzzed there. He's in trouble.
Ty vole, co to má znamenat teď?
Looks like they're out of trouble.
Borec je strašně agresivní.
And out of the way of that right hook.
Ty vole, ale už běž do prdele. Naštěstí mě nemůže dorazit, to je dobře. Ty vole. Ne, ne. Kámo, ne, běž. Ne. Podle mě jebne. Stávej. Dělej. Šmara, dělej, stávej, vole. To teda jo, šledo. No, ale vyhráli jsme, ty brďo, ale být to 10. kolo, tak... Ty vodu, borec úplně přitvrdil, ale extrémně. 117, vedli jsme teda jako krásně s přehledem, já jsem nic moc nemusel dělat, ale kdyby mě sundal dvakrát vlastně předtím, by se mu to povedlo a teď by mě sundal vlastně na zem, tak to já už bych nestal, protože po třetí už se vstává hrozně těžce. 235 headshotů mě prošlo a já jsem mu dal 339, no celkově. A tak on měl jenom 4 výhry, 7 proher. Ale stejně byl dobrý nakonec. Ty vole. Už jsem z toho spocený. Takže vyberte výsledek, výhra. Jo, šlezíku. Ono je to zatím jakoby v early accessu, ale budou tady přidávat potom všechno, kariéru, tvorba svýho fightera, bude to teda víc prej promakanější než ještě v UFCčku. Výhra nebo prohra, dáme 5 minut. Tak, chlapci, máte to tam. Motivation. Ty vole. To byly strašný nervy, ale teď teda. Ono toho, co hraju, tak on má jako staty 91, že jako je hodně silný, ale samozřejmě Ryan Garcia třeba takovej trošku menší, i váhově menší fighter, tak Ryan Garcia třeba, tak ten má hrozně rychlý ruce, ale zase je strašně zranitelný jako na to, no. Na ksicht. A jo, Šleza. Šleza tam zasadil prašuláče jak blázen. A jo, ono jsou to jenom bodíky. Motivation. Tak, jak to vypadá. Hmm. 120 000. Ty vole. Jsem z tebe paseru. Někdo dal i na remízu. Ta remíza je taková jako... To tam moc nebývá, no. Tak já ti to zase rozhodím. Pam, pam, pam. Gino už dneska vlastně nemá body, on to tady všechno projel. Bam, bam, bam. 53 výher máme už, to je super, ale se docela daří. Ono zatím tady máš lezo to, no. Proti CPUčku samozřejmě můžeš hrát, že jo, pak ty máš prize fighty, to oni spíš testujou. Zatím teďka jakoby ti to XP level. Tady ten poslední je jako, to málo kdo dá prej, takže to jsem zatím neskoušel ještě, jo, ale spíš ti to level. Bam, bam, bam. Pak tady máš lokal samozřejmě, training, pak tady bude ta kariéra, tady máš klasické online quick fight a tady jsou rankedy, no. A tady by bylo dobré se dostat. Undisputed. Borec tam měl 500 zápasů normálně vyhraných, 20 proher. Mazet. Kolik projel? Já nevím ani kolik dneska projel. On tam házel všechno a chudák píše, já nemám body. Pam, pam, pam. A minutka, takže už to zapnem. Si píš. Kolik jsme dali vůbec celkově KOček? Nic moc asi. 23 KOček už. Tak to je dobré. 540 rounds boxed. No ale to máme to ještě vlastně z normálních proti CPUčku. A jo, to je on. Jo, on moc neměl bodu, on semka úplně pak už nechodil. Chudáček. Škoda jako, že se nemůžou vkládat nějaký prašuláče, ne? Byla sranda. Už je nemám. Šmará, co zase je s tou postavou. Tak. Třeba Ren Garcia má jenom 84 rating, jako jo, ale ten je dost dobrý. Za prvé je strašně rychlej, za druhé má jako staminu, teda tady má 80, ale ono pak se mu v průběhu, myslím, 5. 6. kola zase doplňuje. Takže ten si pak může víc zase dovolit. Ale my dáme stejně Robinson Crusoe, si vždycky vzpomenu. Ježmare, ty tak rychlý, ty vole, já si ani nemůžu odpočnout. Nehrajte ty rankery všichni. Tak, schválně, kdo proti nám bude, veď. A my to nebude ten stejný. Ale to je Silver jenom. 14 výher, 3 prohry, to je šmatlák. To je šmatláče, to máme hned. To ukončíme tak do 5. kola, doufám. Foxy, moc si zase nevěř, jako, vzpomeň si na odpoledne, když tě vypnul jako typek, který hrál první ranked zápasu, takže bacha na to. Batman se jmenuje. A přesně vymlace, v klídečku pěkně, já mám čas. Vole. Kurník.
We both covered thousands of boxing matches in our day, but I don't think I've ever been to a
Vole, co to dala za kombinačky. Tak na toho musíme opatrnější.
So if you are in this venue, you are watching this fight, trust me, we're lucky to be sat here.
Ty vole. No právě. Ono jako sice tam to byly jenom takový malinký ránky, jo, ale právě to jsou ty body, který jako on získá, no.
Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way.
Evo, ten Tomík. Já si myslel, že teda bude šmatlák, ale šmatlák to není teda.
Counterfighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
To beat a counterpuncher, you've got to take them out of their pace. Do not.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left.
Tak tenhle je hodně nebezpečný. To bylo out, no? No jako je fakt dobrý, ale borec, no. První kolo vyhrál určitě Tatarko, no. Vidíš už, jak to umíš. Nebo jak ses to naučil. Jako určitě to předvedl víc než já, že jo, to první kolo. I když mě to přes ten kryt něco neprošlo, ale prostě mě víc jako nahitoval, no. Ty vole, hlavně to tak jako... Je hrozně pozornej. Nevím, jak na něho, na toho šmejda. On je takový pořád, že spíš stojí. Ty vole.
This counter puncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
Už mě začíná štvat, ale.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round. He just misses with that big right hand.
Si to hrozně hlídá, jak já chci jít víc k němu prostě, tak on mě dává do protivky a... Tyhle, tak tenhle je hodně dobrý. Prdele, hlavně to břicho mě pořád jede.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go.
Tak tohle je asi nejlepší borec, zatím s kterým jsem hrál teda upřímně.
It's too hard to split. Do you listen to your head or your heart?
Lift it up, body and head, be smart. He's absolutely knackered, man. He's knackered.
Jo, ano. Jsme si to hlídat, tu staminu. Máme 99 do toho 5. kola, musíme mít tak na nejmíň 90, protože těch 12 kol to není žádná prdel. A fakt jako, tak málo zápasu má, je to teprve silver. Fakt dobrý teda. Prostě u něho nevíš, kdy jako něco udělá prostě. Mám úplně strach němu jít. Ty vole, ne. No tak tohle je strašný teda. To jsme narazili na opravdu kvalitního.
There's an uppercut, a big uppercut, and his knees buckled that time. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym.
No nic, budeme muset počkat vždycky, až udělá jako víc úderů a pak jít po něm. Aby neměl tolik té staminy, protože on fakt je dobrý teda.
And he misses with that jab. You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go.
Prdele, běž už do říti, ale pořád s tím břichem, vole.
This one could go either way. Every round is so important.
That was super tight. I dread being a judge.
He's ready to go. He's absolutely shattered. I love that. I love that. That shot's great. If you see it, he'll ride it out. Go out there and finish him. That's beautiful. That's it.
Se poseru. Nejsem vůbec příjemný, jako. Tatarko, chápeš to? 29-28 oba dvede, no. Čmara, tak trošku něco dělej, ale já potřebuji, abys na mě víc útočil, on čeká jenom na mě pořád.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Ty vole. Ale není vůbec dobré.
They just missed with that big right hand. No rest for the weary. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round. You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way. Missed very close round with 10 seconds to go.
Tak tohle něco. No, Tatarko, ten dává opravdu kvalitně přes slamu. Vůbec nevím, jak na něho. Typo normálně, no, ale přitom včera jako jsem měl 6 výher po sobě, jako a hráli proti mě goldiáci, co měli strašně moc jako fightů už odehraných, ale tady ten je prostě takovej, nevím. Hrozně zákeřnej. Ty vole.
There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford
to make
one single minor mistake.
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed.
Bonusy se dávají vpravo, šlezo, jak máš ekonomické bonusy, jak dáváš dělostřelectvo u té šipy třeba, tak tam je ekonomické bonusy a zapneš si tam ty věci.
Just gets out of the way of that left hand.
Tak tohle máme asi projetý, no.
They score with that left hand.
Sedí nos.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Když můžeš ženo vsadit.
Because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself out trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
Oh, and he caught him with a left hook.
Ty vole, celou dobu kryju břicho, pak ho oddělám a zase tam dá, on je prostě extrémně tady ten pozornej. Hrozně to sleduje, prostě fakt.
This round could go either way, 10 seconds to go. This one could go either way. Every round is so important.
Ustanáš ale vidíš, Šikula. Tak tohle je blbý.
standing down. He's ready to go. He's absolutely shattered. He's hurt. He's ready to go.
Tady tohle si ani nevěřím, že jak jsem zvyklý třeba 3 poslední kola udat KO, tak tomuhle prostě nedáme KO asi. Šestý kolo, už to je hrozný.
How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through?
The problem with having a chin that everybody knows if they hit you, you're hurt, you're gone. You've got to protect that, but you've also got to get your shots off. And they forget, you can bang too.
No, teďka hejtujem víc. Tady to kolo zatím, ale...
Nice exchange here from both men. Back and forth they go, neither fighter willing to back down. So far, it seems like aggression has been the key. This fighter just not slowing down.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
To mě poser.
Neither man really defending themselves. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster.
Ach jo. Hrozně mě dobře čte, on přesně jako ví, co zhruba budu dělat. Sakra, jak na něj.
Is winning this battle.
So important. The referee's got to do his fight right. He's got to judge this right. He's got to do his job right.
It's so important now. First minute. Nice round. Good round. I like that. I'm happy. Good man. Get behind your jab and then let your shots go. Don't let him get back into this fight. Keep smart.
Negram. Tak, teďka bude tabulka, mě jebne. 58-56, jenom o 2 body. Není tak hrozně, já jsem se aspoň o 5, o 6. O 6 ne, o 4, o 5. Tak, vymlať se. A musíme přitvrdit.
They can change their attitude, they can change their nervous system for a certain amount of punches per round, because otherwise if they deviate from the game plan, they're going to be shattered once again and the fight will be over.
Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter
já jsem na něm měl tlačit už od začátku.
And they're not throwing as many on their own.
Takhle on neví, no. Jsem moc pomalu na něj obil.
Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful though. He got out of the way of that right hook. He gets out of the way of that left hand.
Pěkný, no. Abych mu chtěl dát jako v poweru hák nebo něco, jenomže mám strach, že to je hrozně riskantní, jako no. Dá nějakou delší kombinačku a budu na zemi. Ale zkusíme. No, vyšlo. Teď mě zavrnil ovladač, což znamená, že ho to...
This fight is closer than 2 pages in a book, Johnny.
That was super tight. I dread being a judge.
Ale zatím se divím, že nekrvácíme. Mně přišlo, že on má na levé straně už to rozbitý obočí. 8. kolo. Ty vole, tak tohle bylo moc hezky od něho, to musím uznat. Jsem si teda nepohlídal.
Do you believe this? How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this guy that can seriously hurt you?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket him.
Má bez strach.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round. Good punch.
Ale to nedosáhlo na to břicho. No, už je taky takovej trošku. Neriskuje, mně přijde.
That one will count. This fighter is sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. This fight could not be any closer, could it, Johnny?
It's too hard to split. Do you listen to your head or your heart?
Přesně tak, Tatarko, to je dobré rčení. 79% staminy, nic, musíme prostě být teďka hodně to, už to bude riskovat. Teďka nevíme vlastně, jestli je to vyrovnaný nebo pořád vede, těžko říct. Ale už do toho musíme dát všechno. Stačí nám hitovat nějak hezky a nedostat nějakou perdu. Třeba jako tyhle dvě, no. Tak tohle fakt je asi nejlepší borec zatím, se kterým jsem hrál. Hrozně si to kontroluje tu hru.
When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain then.
Some nice exchanges from both men in this round. And he fails to score with that left hook. Right uppercut just off target.
Ale no tak, Batman, dej si odchod už.
There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown their shot. The strength they have, the speed.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. This fight is closer than 2 pages in a book, Johnny.
So important. The referee's got to do his fight right. He's got to judge this right. He's got to do his job right.
He's
88, 83, no, takže nic. Takže prohra. To vede o hodně, no. Nic, musíme prostě už se snažit to sundat. Se je to projetý, takže... Akorát ten dement ví, že to má vyhraný, tak už se bude chránit, tak se to bude jenom... No.
And he just missed with that left jab.
On má možná méně staminy než já.
One of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
Ty vole.
Combination to this safe.
Hrozně dobrý, tenhle fakt dobrý.
He scores with that right uppercut. They're both going for the KO. It's so obvious. You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. This one could go either way. Every round is so important.
It's too hard to split. Do you listen to your head or your heart?
Lift it up, body and head. Be smart, change your angle.
Tak jsme to projeli, no. I kdyby ho sejmul na zem jednou, tak stejně mu to ubere jeden bod. Po druhé taky jeden bod. Kdyby ho potřeboval sejmout dvakrát a po třetí už nestane, no. Ale to už se nestane.
Caught him with an uppercut.
Guilty.
Caught him with that power punch. Nice exchange here from both men. When we talk about a fighter having power, don't just look at the head punches they throw. Look at the body shots. That can be the real difference.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you.
Kámo, ale teď už měl dávno letět dolů, jako to zase neříkej, že má tak velkou staminu, jako to přehání. To zase jako mě neříkej, že to ustál toto.
Not a lot of defense here at all. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left.
Ach jo.
Who's winning this fight right now? I have no idea.
That was super tight. I dread being a judge.
Who's going to be the first one to get buzzed? correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you got to get your timing right.
Let me explain to you about a fast fighter that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed. They're confident. They know they just have to quick burst, boom. In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed. And that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
Jo, ale tenhle je fakt dobré hovado.
That left hook missed.
Ježiš, to jsem neměl minout.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round. Not many of the people in the division hit like them.
Ty vole, dívej, prostě on mě přeruší všechno.
There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
That left hook doesn't find its target. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go.
Teraz bych mu to vzdal normálně surrender, ale nebudem hajzli. Ať tam to káočko má, no. Teda káočko, to má čistou výhru. Jako jo, to musím uznat, že ten byl fakt dobrý. O 8 bodů vedl, no. Minus 12, no, pěkný. Je smutný příběh toto. Takže prohra. Jsem z toho zklamaný, no. Tak jsem si myslel, že ho třeba ještě nakonec vypneme a ono nic, no. Ještě tam někdo dával remízu, jo, vlastně, no. Pěkný 10,5 tisíce, ty vole. To je slušný už. Šlezo, co ty, kolik máš bodíků? Tak, asi budu vylulinkat. Hráme poslední fight sásky, takže vám to tam hodím. Kurva. Ale ne spravovat cíle. 120k říkal. Jo, vlastně, jo, tak to on má ještě v pohodě. Nemá čas, hraje lodě. Tak, dáme poslední fight. Výhra nebo prohra. 5 minut, šup. Dobrou, Tomíku, dobrou, já dám poslední fight a jdu spat. Jsem si krásně viděl, ještě vsadím a jdu. Jasný. Kouknu na poslední fight a taky půjdu. Přesně tak. Dáme poslední fightos, legendos. A jdem spát. Ale jako jo, to fakt musím uznat, že ten byl dobrý. Fakt kvalitní borec. Jsem možná udělal chybu z začátku, že jsem fakt tak nějak zbytečně jako mu dával. Spíš jsem měl možná taky. No ale on byl takovej, on spíš jenom čekal. To bylo takový jako... Nic. Jdu na ten záchod, pustím to už. Kolik zbývá? 3 minuty ještě. Tak to ještě chvilku počkáme. Jo, mám budík. Gardino. Se chtěl pát. Šest 30 to dám. Tak. Nic chat. Budeme to držovat. Jdeme na věc. Pustíme to. A hned jsem tady. Tak, akorát jsme to stihli.
What a crisp, cool
Takže to nebude ten
evening.
stejný
We're
normálně.
live outside at Empire Fight Camp. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
I feel like a fraud. How have I got these ringside seats?
It's time for our tale of the tape. Sugar Ray Robinson weighed in at an even 147 pounds. He's 5'11" tall. And he'll be facing the one and only Josh Taylor. He's 5'10" tall. 69. Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the most skilled. Josh the.
This bout is scheduled for 12.
You've heard of people dancing. And we're underway in round one. We wanted action, and they are giving us action. That one will count. Have you ever danced with the devil under the pale moonlight? That's what these two men are about to go through as they've been talking so much trash on social media. It's time to settle the score. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round. And wait a minute, a left hand lands. Nice exchange here from both men. Counterfighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
Counterpuncher's my favorite kind of fighter. A good counterpuncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. I don't know which fighter is winning this bout.
It's too hard to split. Do you listen to your head or your heart?
Don't give me no free shot. Keep smart. Great round. Now relax.
Bam, bam, bam.
Oh, and he caught him with a stiff jab. Blocks that jab. He didn't take that jab well at all. This counterpuncher is going to wait for you to move first, and then will strike like a snake. Keep an eye on this guy.
You're fighting a counterpuncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counterpunchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round. He missed with that jab. Blocks that right hook. A shout out to the CompuBox guys. Good luck trying to count the punches that these lighter fighters can throw.
Oh my goodness, what pace, what pace. They're like, do you know what a Yorkshire Terrier is, Todd? They're like little Yorkshire Terriers.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. This fight could not be any closer, could it, Johnny?
So important. The referee's got to do his fight right. He's got to judge this right. He's got to do his job right.
Fucking hell.
Don't get carried away.
Who's going to be the first one to get rocked? That left shot lands. The bravery being shown here is just incredible.
Ty vole.
Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Ty vole, jako, to je hrozný chat.
And he caught it with a left hook. And so far, the offense has been better than the defense. And he just misses with that jab. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. This one could go either way. Every round is so important.
That was super tight. I dread being a judge.
Who's going to be the first one to get
27-30, no, vede.
Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
Todd, we know one of these fights can knock you out with a simple jab. They're that powerful.
Nice job by him to block that jab.
Co to je, ale...
There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tail. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to
taky moc neútočí, pořád musím já, to je taky kokot.
And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Nic moc taky nedělá prostě.
He blocks the hook.
Chápeš to, Tatarko?
And he misses with that jab. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. This fight is closer than 2 pages in a book, Johnny.
It's too hard to split. Do you listen to your head or your heart?
Asi jo, člověče, já nevím. A tady ten není tak hrozný, jak byl tam ten předešlej, ale... No, musíme se soustředit.
This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a cliff. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the
Nemá už moc staminy, mně přijde.
He gets out of the way of that left hand.
To je ono.
You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations and they throw them non-stop.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking because you've got to get some before you get him close.
Byl jenom obod vlastně vedl, teď to musíme dorovnat.
He misses with that jab. Neither man really defending themselves.
To je ono. Takhle na něj.
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one.
Ty vole, ale...
Who's winning this fight right now? I have no idea.
That was super tight. I dread being a judge.
Don't change too much yet. Keep doing what you're doing. The gaps will appear. Mate, he's gone. I'm telling you, he's gone. Jump up.
Which fighter's going to get caught first?
Tady po tom kole uvidíme tabulku, jsem zvědavý. Pak se rozhodneme, jestli přitlačíme, nebo...
His jab just got blocked. Talk about punches and bunches. That's the mantra for this fighter with that exceptional hand speed.
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
Nice exchange here from both men. So much for boxing. This is a fight. Nice exchanges from both men in this round. He parries away that left hook. Heard the phrase, finding a second win. I don't think I need to tell you which one of these fighters needs to find it.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
To je ono. To je nádhera teď.
Oh, that left hook hurt him. Very close round with 10 seconds to go.
To je krása.
This fight could not be any closer, could it, Johnny?
So important. The referee's got to do his fight right. He's got to judge this right. He's got to do his job right.
It's so important now in this first minute. Look at him. He's absolutely knackered, man. He's knackered.
Which one of these athletes
A on vede o tolik dnes.
Both of these men showing exceptional chins, by the way. There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
Don't get trigger happy, because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself out trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
He got caught clean by a left hook. Nice exchanges from both men in this round. Ooh, that punch hurt him. The old adage is, no matter how much speed you've got, timing beats speed.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
He threw the hook, didn't land. And he fails to score with that left hook.
Very competitive round
with 10 seconds left. This fight is closer than 2 pages in a book, Johnny.
That was so...
Which fighter's going to get caught first? Oh, and he caught him there with a right hook. This fighter has tested their opponent's power and apparently isn't impressed as they continue to walk through all these power shots.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for this point there, this over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim them, go for speed.
To má za staminu, ale tak dlouhou. Co to je, ty vole, Weaver má pořád full staminu.
Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful though. Blocks that left hook.
Ta sedla teda teď se musí nechat.
There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight, fire, refight. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
He blocks that jab.
Už musíme riskovat, no, nic se nedá dělat.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. I don't know which fighter is winning this bout.
It's too hard to split. Do you listen to your head or your heart?
Špatné, to je špatné.
Great work. I love that. That jab slick. And beautiful. That's it. Start just sticking a few body shots in there a little bit.
Who will be buzzed first? Good left hand. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you got to think him. You just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket him.
There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change.
Ale šanci máme ho sejmout ještě.
You can't afford to make one single minor mistake. These two are the perfect dance partners. These power punches are bruising up his body. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
Teď jsem možná měl pokračovat v té kombinaci.
Trying to answer that. And that'll do it. Josh Taylor has to go down.
Yes!
As we enter the final 10 seconds
Je
here,
to tam, ty vole.
he'd rather forget.
Ještě jednou. Ho musíme sundat.
At this point, you gotta believe he can't win on the scorecards. Gonna need a knockout.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
This is the 10th.
Musíme teďka být hodně tvrdí.
That right hook won't score. Both men step back for just a moment. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations and they throw them non-stop.
Let me explain to you about a fast fighter that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed. They're confident. They know they just have to push first, boom. In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed. And that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
Can they figure out the combination to this safe? You'd like to see more jabs. Oh, and he caught him there with a right hook. Sugar Ray Robinson just got rocked. Look at him trying to fight his way out of this. He might just want to hold on, play some defense. How is this fight still continuing? You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one.
Both
fighters unwilling to engage in that round. A bit surprised.
Just a little fact finder, that's all it was.
Ještě jednou ho musíme sundat.
This is the 11th. We've entered the championship rounds. Nice exchange here from both men. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not...
Down goes Josh Taylor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A sedla. Tak a ještě jednou složíme a je to vyhraný. Teďka už má velký problém.
Good one. And he blocks the left uppercut. Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some... Final 10 seconds here, and this has not been his round for sure. Not much to write home about in that round, huh, Johnny?
To asi bude remíza možná.
And there's the bell to start round 12. And he caught him there with a left hook. He blocks the jab. There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Upřímně nevím, jak to, že naležel, to jedno.
Some nice exchanges from both men in this round. Caught him with that power punch. He wanted action, and they are delivering.
Šmará, tak dělej nějakou akci proti mě, ty vole. A naháně ty dementa debilního faktu.
How do they use this fighter's aggression against them? You know,
yes,
the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. And that'll do it. Josh Taylor has to go down.
Je to tam. Je to tam. Nesmí vstat. Nesmí.
Go back to the drawing board time, a unanimous decision victory.
They've done it before, now they're doing it again, and look what's happened, a unanimous decision. What a way, what tactics, what a game plan.
Tak to chci vidět. O kolik vyhrál teda? Už dvakrát byl dole. Ach jo. Nic no. Tak jo, taterečko. Díky, že jsi tady byl. Jasný, jasný. Jako máš pravdu, hezky jsme to otočili, jo, ale myslel jsem teda, že máme výhru, jako dobře dvakrát spadnul, teďka po třetí. A divím se, že vstál, dobře, po třetí se hrozně debilně vstává, no, ale vládl to, no. Já vím, jdu na to. Škoda. Jsem fakt doufal normálně, že vyhraju, no. Nevadí, no. Tak jo, ať je ti líp. Díky, že jsi tady byl až do konce, kamaráde, vážím si toho moc. A krásnou noc, dobře se vyspí. A čusáček.